There we go. Recording started.
Recording is started.
I know. It says on the screen.
Do you see the little live thing with the numbers counting?
Yes, exactly. It's like it's like the old-fashioned
we do.
studio. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you got the red light on. Like, don't come in
Blinking
here.
live. I should get one of those.
I'm really disappointed that we don't have filters. I want filters.
I want
to
filter.
I want to be the cat.
You know that.
I want to be the cat filter.
That's only if you're arguing before the state Supreme Court.
I think we'll have to switch. Maybe next week maybe next week we can do like an all Zoom episode and we could be like different avatars.
Is that like a filter that's automatic in Zoom?
Yeah.
Like if you have Zoom, you automatically have the cat filter?
I think so.
Oh my God. Yes. I want to do that.
I think that's how it works.
We don't Zoom, so we WebEx, so
that's worse.
I Zoomed for the first time last night.
WebEx is awful.
For work. It went well.
Yeah, it did. That was great. The Rita's Library did a program with the museum.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
I was not a cat on the Zoom.
But that's just what a cat would say.
That's right. Well, are you sure?
I should have done it.
It's a cat wearing a human suit for once.
That's right. You don't know.
This is revenge for that travesty involving, what the hell was it, Taylor Swift?
Maybe that's why cats like Brita so much. She is a cat.
I'm a cat. Maybe.
That would explain a lot.
I'll never tell.
Well,
my disdain for most of humanity.
There you go.
It would explain that. That's all right. I'm a meat popsicle, so.
I want to watch that again.
What?
Lilo Dallas, Multipass.
Oh, yeah.
Fifth Element.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
I wanted to ask everybody what you had for dinner today. What you have for dinner, Jay?
We had chicken, rice, and green beans. It's a staple.
Alan?
I had Costco gluten-free chicken nuggets and potato chips.
That's funny because we had Purdue gluten-free chicken.
I didn't have time to cook anything because I had to go to the store because we're about to have a major weather incident in Houston.
That's right. Is that headed your way?
Yes.
Oh my God. The video from that was positively frightening.
It was horrific. Brita, don't watch it.
Yeah, serious. It's you watching
I've seen it.
F-150 get folded in half and thrown through the air.
You saw the traffic pile up on I-35?
I
did.
Now, I get it in Texas because you're not expecting that. You're totally not expecting the highway to be completely ice in Texas in the age of global warming.
Right.
The one that got me was there was one a few years ago. I want to say it was Michigan, or it was definitely one of the, Arctic Circle states. Right. And you see 18-wheelers coming up on its blizzard whiteout conditions, and they're roaring into nothing at like 60 miles an hour. And it's like, guys, is this the first time you've ever driven anywhere? I mean, Alan can be forgiven.
I feel bad for Texans whenever there's winter. Whenever they get winter, I feel bad for them because they turn into idiots. And it's not their fault. I mean, they don't learn to
Bless
drive
our hearts.
in that, Sad.
Well, you shouldn't be expected to know,
man.
No.
No. Well, I mean, okay. Okay, Alan, I'm going to out you here. So, Alan doesn't even know how to walk. Alan doesn't even know how to walk on the ice. Or
we saw the sledding video.
I mean, you saw it. But like I have seen him just like walking and slip, and I'm like, what did you slip on? There's nothing. There's like a little tiny bit of. No, he doesn't. No, and nor should he. He didn't grow up in the Arctic like we did. So
I think that's something you have to grow up with. It's like learning a language, right?
Yeah.
If you don't grow up with it, you're never going to be that good. And if you don't grow up learning how to walk on ice, you're just not going to.
I'm pretty sure you can lose it too, because I'm not all that good at it anymore.
Well, I'll have you know that
I wanted to bring up my dinner, by the way, before we move on. I wanted to
What did you
bring
have
up my
for dinner, Brita?
Chili.
I bet you didn't.
I did have chili.
Did you have chili?
I bet you didn't. I
or
bet
did
it
you
was
have spicy ketchup, according to some people?
I bet it was a spicy meat stew with vegetables in it.
It had beans and hominy.
So there you go.
It was
beans
chili.
And what? What was the second
Hominy.
thing? I'm sorry.
Hominy. Hominy. Hominy.
Like a Dodge Omni?
Hominy. HOMINY.
Oh, like grits. Okay.
No, I mean it's corn, but no, it's like big corns. Like they do something to the corn, and it like becomes
corn in chili. It's a staple, right? Because otherwise, how are you going to track your digestive tract?
Yeah. Thank you.
You make sure that stuff's working right. Alan is horrified. I love it. We have accomplished our objective.
Pinto beans, and hominy, and big chunks of ground chuck. I didn't use ground meat. It was like
poor Charles.
Did Chuck get permission to grind him up?
Yeah. But Mike and I were talking about the whole chili thing, and I wanted to mention that of all the times I've visited Texas, I've yet to have chili in Texas.
You may have accidentally, you might have put it on a hot dog or perhaps French fries.
Nope. No chili in Texas.
Alan.
And I was wondering, is this a thing like you go out to a restaurant and you can get chili, or is chili a thing you just make it home?
You just make
Is he
it
not talking to me now? Is that what's happening?
No, you just make it at home.
There's no restaurants that serve chili?
Well, I'm sure there are, but why would you eat it at a restaurant? It's not like brisket. I mean, anybody can make chili.
I can make chili.
Because it's my dream to get chili at a restaurant in Texas. Chili at a restaurant in Texas with a side of beans. And I'll very elaborately sit at the table and mix them together.
You're like, hey! If you really want everyone to go nuts, get the small macaroni for chili mac.
Oh my gosh. That's brilliant. That's a good one, Jay.
I find this whole thread offensive.
Alan's gonna cancel us. We're gonna be dropped from the podcast.
No way.
He needs new co-hosts.
There wouldn't be a podcast.
Right. I hear Gina Carano's available.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Oof. Wow.
So Chinese slave labor is okay.
and
pedophiles.
Genocide against the Muslim population.
Right.
And pedophilia, yes.
Yep.
And rape fantasies and feeding
rampant
children
pedophilia.
through wood chippers.
Right. But how dare you tweet
I saw that.
The truth about Nazi
The
Germany.
truth.
Yeah.
The thing that I thought was interesting is her tweet was about cancel culture and how it all starts and what the end result of cancel culture is.
Right.
And they cancel her.
Yeah. It's brilliant.
My favorite though is how
I knew it was coming though, because for a long time. Right.
I love how the left pivoted to, well, if you cancel Disney, you're also part of the cancel culture. And I'm like, so your point is people who, I'm not making this up. I've seen it 5 times. Well, it's the same thing. No, me refusing to pay for Disney because I disagree with something they did is me taking my money elsewhere. You writing to them
Right.
saying, you need to get this hateful person off. That's cancel culture.
Yeah, it's not the same at all.
You know, but they're making the equivalence.
Well, but they make false equivalences all the time. It's what they do.
That's what they do.
I mean, it's like,
it's
it's
illegal
like calling,
and legal immigration.
It's like calling
riots and peaceful protests.
Right.
Mostly peaceful protests.
Or the other.
They're going to call up Black Lives Matter gets the mostly Nobel Peace Prize.
Or that thing where you a couple of weirdos go into the Capitol and you call it an insurrection.
Buffalo Man.
Yeah. Well,
Buffalo Bill.
He who controls the language controls the culture.
Yep.
Yeah. We should stop letting them do that.
We should just start making words up.
Yeah.
And we should put the crazy people back in asylums.
Well,
because, that's where they belong.
Where will we get the other half of Congress Brain?
Random lottery. Can't be worse.
It can't be worse. There's no way it could be
out
worse.
Of a phone book. I don't know. Goodness. Yes. All kinds of fun stuff.
Oh man.
So what's something good that happened this week?
Personally,
my Bitcoin got a whole lot worth. My
Bitcoin
got worth a whole lot more.
Alan and his Bitcoin.
Yay, Bitcoin.
I'm telling you.
Fuck you money yet, Alan? Do you fuck
Almost.
you money yet?
Almost.
He's going to buy another Jeep.
Not quite.
Oh.
Actually, no, I don't think so.
If you buy an old CJ, you could be just like Bruce Springsteen.
They yanked his ad.
God. That was funny. That was funny.
Go
ahead, Jay.
No. Larry Correa posted his interpretation of what must have gone on behind the pitch for that commercial. Crosses. What are those people like? Crosses. Put more crosses. And it was,
oh my gosh.
It was funny, but almost too idiocracy. Like this is probably closer to the truth than we want to admit. What are those cousin humpers like? You can hear it, the derision just dripping out. And, Bruce Springsteen. Everyone loves Bruce Springsteen. His description of people who live in the uncivilized areas, like Connecticut. Yeah. I went to Danbury for summer camp once.
Oh man, hang on, I got to get a.
It's funny to me that they keep on pushing Bruce Springsteen as like the man of the people, and he's like blue collar kind of dude. Like, what? Yeah. He's been like famous for most of his life by this time.
Yeah, he hadn't been blue
living in I don't know wherever.
What got me the most was he's had like John Kerry levels of Botox and plastic surgery. I took one look at it. Because I'd heard ahead of time that was the commercial with Bruce Springsteen, and the Jeep came on, and I'm like, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, he looked like he was in one of those 1980s NASA, where somebody was in a NASA type centrifuge where they're whipping around like, I kept expecting to hear a snap. Watch binder clips fly off the back of his head, and then boom, he turned into a Sharpay. Bam! I'm just like, it's like, dude,
the extra skin wanted up back here.
Yeah, just like all of a sudden a turkey neck explodes out of the back of his head. I'm like, just own it, man. You're old. All right, I'm old. I own it. I'm not making, I mean, he's got to be in his 70s. This is a guy who is,
he is in his 70s. Yes, he is.
Which
I was surprised to hear, but
well,
the scary thing is how many are. You know, you look at the, you know, I mean, not the Ramones because, well, they're all dead, but
are they all dead?
I think there's like one left. There's like, he's like the Highlander of the Ramones.
Johnny Rotten's still alive.
And thank you for making my point. Have you
And
seen Johnny Rotten, he looks kind of like Dame Judi Dench.
Yeah, but Johnny
Axl Rose
is...
and Mickey Rourke looking like a lesbian couple. Yeah. Steve Tyler from Aerosmith looks like the cool mom that let you drink as long as you were staying over.
God. What is it with old liberal men that start looking like women? What is that about?
Well, there you go.
It's really weird.
And like I actually was chatting with someone about our illustrious president and reminded them that he has more hair now than he did in 1988 when he ran for president.
Yes.
And
it's all kind of like slid back here.
You could see the lightning, the little light bulb, like, oh yeah. And I'm like, no, Joe Biden was going bald in the 80s.
Yeah.
And then like through the early 90s, it was all plugs. You know, he was plugs. He looked like a fucking Barbie doll.
Yeah. Isn't that what they called him? Plugs Biden?
That's what I called him.
Yeah. Oh, because that's what Jay called him.
No plugs, no plugs, no rugs, no drugs.
Aw. Well, good. It suits you.
I'm not ruling out glue, though. Oh, Gorilla Glue.
Oh, man. Did you see that? They had to shave her head.
No. What? No. She had like a medical procedure.
Yeah.
She ended up having to get it done by a medical doctor with a medical grade adhesive dissolver and then like
they
other
like scraped
stuff.
her head.
Oh,
and everyone's talking about the GoFundMe that's up to like 15 grand or whatever it's up to. And I'm
For
like,
what?
Wow.
That doesn't bother me though.
No.
That's stupid people being separated from their money. I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with suing Gorilla Glue because you put a spray adhesive into your hair. No, I'm sorry. This is something that is very clearly not meant to be used as a fucking hairstyle accessory.
If I was Gorilla Glue, I'd come back and go, it worked as advertised.
It did what it was supposed to. It stuck. You wanted something.
Well, they're making it now into a racial issue. I mean, like they make everything into a racial issue, but they're making it into a racial issue because there is something called like for black hair, they have something they use that's called like hair glue, right? And I don't know.
I know nothing about hair, Rita.
I don't either, really, Jay. But they're making it into a racial issue because glue is glue, and black people use glue on their hair, and and the label didn't specifically say don't put it on hair. It says don't put it on your skin, don't put it on your clothing, don't put it on whatever else. It didn't specifically say hair.
This is gonna be another one of those.
I'm sorry, but if you're that dumb, I hope she doesn't have kids.
I bet she does.
Or alternatively, I hope that putting Gorilla Glue on your hair makes you sterile.
Darwin Award.
I bet it doesn't.
Extra special side effect.
It's going to be like Gorilla Glue is going to have to put add to their warning label.
Yeah.
Don't spray on your hair.
It can be a separate. It's going to have a separate can just to have all the warning on it. Because it's going to be like, don't use on your hair. Don't use on your private parts. Don't use on your ass crack. You have to call everything out.
It's going to be like, like those those pesticide containers or something where it's got like the label is turned into a book.
Yes, you have to pull it out.
You peel the label and it's like multiple. It's like an accordion of pages and pages of warning you're supposed to read. And the directions are buried in
the hair dryer. Do not use in the bathtub. Oh, okay.
Yes. Do not use while sleeping. Because I can't tell you the number of times I've woken up and been styling my hair. Oh, hey, how'd that happen?
Caution, hot.
On the label on a Bic lighter, caution, contents flammable. You think?
I hope so.
That's kind of the whole
Amazing.
reason for buying it. But
our ancestors are laughing their asses off at us.
We have
our ancestors had Darwin.
Yeah.
And
Stupidity hurt.
We're like, it's supposed to.
Yeah.
We don't have enough natural predators. That's the problem.
That is a problem.
We don't spend enough time running for our lives, and therefore we've got time to do stupid shit like put fucking glue in our hair.
The cats aren't big enough.
Gorilla Glue has been branching out. They now make tape, and they make epoxy, and they make all sorts of things now.
Eventually,
maybe they should go into the hair glue business.
See, eventually there's going to be like a turf war between Gorilla Glue and Flex Seal. And it's going to be like, again, getting back to Highlander, there can be only one. Because they're both they're in the all-encompassing adhesive market.
Well, Gorilla Glue.
Every time I buy well, okay. Actually, hold on.
Rita has some.
Do I have it? Well,
I think I've got some.
I was going to show you my bottle. Oh, here it is.
Hey, there you go.
I have a box of adhesives.
Is that why you have short hair? Because
that was one of the things I did on the. No, I was just going to say though, every time I buy a bottle of this fucking glue, like I get this much weight, I use this much of it, and the rest of it hardens up like a fucking rock.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like super
so irritating.
One of the most awesome things Super Glue ever did was making the little tiny, like 1/10 of an ounce single-use containers. Because you get this giant tube of toothpaste size thing of Super Glue, and you'd use it for one little project, and then the whole thing would just turn into a bat and you could hit someone with it.
This is my show and tell early. So you get this, and it's hard as a rock. It's all dried out. The lid comes off. But, who cares, right?
Clunk.
Look.
It's a baby.
Gorilla Glue Mini.
It's a little teeny one.
That's what you need. Yep.
This is your solution right here. So, and it comes with like a little doodad. And so.
Yeah.
Handy tip. There you go. Buy the minis.
Only buy the minis.
Don't use on your hair though.
Do not use it on any part of your body.
Or your mustache.
Oh man, that would make a nice.
Be careful of your fingers getting glued together.
Yeah, it wouldn't move.
That'd get a nice curl and it just stay there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gorilla Glue. Just
I use Gorilla Glue mostly for fixing my leg.
But that's not skin, so.
It's not skin. No. It's like, the parts of my leg that come apart sometimes that need to be put back together.
Not duct tape.
Anyway.
You should, I bet you've used duct tape before.
Mm-hmm. I used to duct tape my foot together. When the toes would fall off, I would wrap it with duct tape. This is before I had like the fancy foot. This was like back in the day, man. When this is back in the day when I had like the old style foot, and the interior shank of the foot was basically a piece of wood. And then I was like a kid, and I'd break my toes off all the time, and have to duct tape them back on.
Now you can Gorilla Glue them back on.
Okay.
I guess that's like
I have Gorilla Glue.
I guess that's like kind of like when I was a kid and my mom refused to buy me expensive clothes because I would grow out of them in 6 months, and it's kind of the same. I mean, if you're getting a new leg every year, you're not going to spend a whole lot of money on it, right?
Yeah, they used to the feeder. Okay, why am I going to this? But the feet
fascinating.
are separate the leg part, and you can. It's modular. Okay, so you have the leg part and the little part that is like your ankle-y part, and then the foot part, which are usually, I mean, it's all modular. It's all pieces parts. And if you break the foot, you can get a new foot and attach it to the existing leg part. And when I was a kid, they used to just keep feet in stock for me because I would just blow through them like crazy. So,
for you to broke another foot, get a new one.
So the leg is modular.
One of the best things. This is one of the best things. What?
I was going to say it's like an AR-15. You have an assault leg.
Yeah, kind of.
Did you get the shoulder thing that goes up on it?
Yes, they have those, and it's all tactical black. I got the black carbon fiber and stuff. So
there you go.
We must have a huge delay between us.
Yeah,
but I was going to say that one of the best days calling in sick to work was I called in sick and I told my boss, I was like, I'm sorry, I can't come to work. I broke my leg. And she freaked out. I was like, oh, no, not that leg. Not that leg. The other one.
Well, that's a good excuse.
Anyway, I don't know how we got on this topic. Gorilla Glue. Moving on. Okay.
Gorilla Glue fixes everything.
Sorry.
That's perfectly all right. You want to talk about the double mask thing?
Oh, good God. You mean the newly announced by the CDC, this is Joe Biden's plan?
Well, he said he had a plan.
He had a plan. And not only that, but if he'd been president, those people wouldn't have died. Right. So what you're telling me is every single coronavirus death since January 22nd is Joe Biden's fault.
No, those are Trump's fault too.
Saul Alinsky, rules for radicals, make them live by their own rules. If
that only applies to them.
Deaths up until January 22nd were Trump's fault, the deaths since January 22nd are Biden's fault. Now, I know the media and the liberals, but I repeat myself, will never allow that. I mean, Biden's already blaming Trump for problems with the vaccine rollout.
Yep.
Okay. But yes, that's the big thing from the CDC. We see a significant reduction in cases if we double masked. Okay, we've been under mask mandates since May. That's let me think, 9 months. So you're just realizing this now. B, fucking bullshit. And CB, fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Double mask is not. Double mask is only going to make people fuck with their faces more. Double mask because the people wearing them under their chins are now going to have 2 fucking masks under their chins or on their foreheads.
You see that guy that made a screen print of his face on the mask?
That's so good.
You saw that guy? He did a screen.
I get one of those for work.
A screen print of his face on the mask, and it had like his mask like down on his chin, and he went into a car dealership, and they were telling him, "You need to put your mask on, sir." And he's like, "It is on." It was brilliant.
Yeah, it just that the actual honest to goodness science behind it is very questionable to begin with.
I think the whole thing is mass hysteria.
Is mask hysteria? Did you make it that joke?
No, it's mass hysteria.
We're going to see how far we can push this. And they're looking for anything, and they'll let the numbers trail off eventually, and then look, our Lord and Savior Joe Biden saved us from the coronavirus.
This is the same exact thing as the daycare pedophile thing and the satanic music thing. Oh yeah, it's they
I don't know.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They've taken a virus that is somewhat worse off than the flu and turned it into the end of the world. The government lockdowns and mask mandates and all that kind of bullshit are going to kill more people than the virus itself.
not even by probably an order of magnitude.
The economic damage that's going on right now is incalculable. It's just, I mean, they're talking about a lost decade now.
Oh, we just had silence. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. I tell you that we got a huge delay. I don't know. There's something StreamYard's like screwing with our.
It's not me.
No, it's not you. It's the thing. There's a. I think Jay has it worse.
Probably.
Yeah.
My tin can is on the fritz tonight.
Yep.
We were talking yesterday at work about the masks because Ohio still has a mask mandate, and so in all public places you have to wear a mask, including libraries. And one of the women I work with had COVID, and she still wears a mask. And her doctor, I was like, "Where do you wear a mask? Like, you've had it, you're good, And she said that her doctor told her she can get it again, and the antibodies are only good for 3 months.
Her doctor doesn't.
So that sounds like bullshit. That sounds like bullshit.
Yeah, her doctor's lying to her.
So then the vaccine.
No, I think it's more. Yeah, she's planning on getting the vaccine. I was like, why?
Yeah,
it's
people do not know.
I don't know. I think the mask. No, I think the mask thing is especially like for people who've already had COVID and are still wearing masks. Like, I think it's a peer pressure thing. Like,
yeah.
Well, they said what it was.
Everybody should wear a mask.
No, they said what it was because if they let people, if they say it's okay for people who have had COVID to not wear a mask, then everybody will just go, well, I had it, so I don't have to wear one. And then nobody will wear one. So they're lying to you to get a behavior they want.
And when nobody's wearing it and the numbers don't go through the roof,
right,
a certain number of people are going to be like, wow, this has been bullshit forever.
Yeah.
And all of these people who lost everything, they lost their business, they're broke, they lost their nest egg, they sold their house for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And they would never admit it, but wow, evil Nazi Hitler Trump was right.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that.
Yep.
So they can't have that. See, we'll wear double masks, and we wear double masks through the summer, and then we'll be fine.
And we need lockdowns till 2022, right?
Yeah. Well, that's so they can cancel. They can end the lockdowns right before the midterm elections. Look, we're free again.
It's a miracle.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But what do we know?
I don't know anything.
But we were talking yesterday about my coworker said with the way people wear their masks, down here and down here, and she's like, it's no surprise, like, contraception fails all the time.
She's not wrong.
Nope. Wow. I hadn't thought of that one.
Yeah.
I think people wear their mask like that because they know.
Well,
and we're just,
it's like,
I'm wearing my mask. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't even.
It's one of those, like, do you not know that your nose is connected also to your lungs? Like, it's all the same kind of tube. They're all connected.
Yeah, the stuff that you don't want going in your mouth, you also don't want going in your nose, and the stuff that's coming out of your mouth, you don't want coming out of your nose. And but again, they don't know biology. We've established that. Same people going, well, herd immunity doesn't work. You need to get the vaccine.
When I wear a mask now, I do it like this. I don't put it under my chin.
Because your beard is a filter?
Well,
I just go like
if
this.
I do it like that, I don't get mask beard.
Yeah.
If I let it
Oh,
go all the way
heaven
under my
forbid.
chin, I get mask beard.
It's awful. It's like hat head on my face.
It is. It's terrible, and it never goes away.
It just stays there. There's a line right here.
That's why I put the mask. The bottom of the mask sits right there, and I don't get mask beard.
Well, I've been using the same disposable mask since May. So.
Oh yeah, I do the same thing. I got a couple of the cheapy disposables. I keep in like my truck or something, and it's like been rolling around on the floor and everything else.
It is only so people do not approach me,
right?
Because I do not want anybody getting my face about a mask. I mean, we've got the same thing. We've got a mask mandate here in Virginia.
Wow.
All the stores have masks, and
yeah,
it's like, look, I'm complying. Look,
I kind of makes me want to move to Florida. Because they're apparently the only state not doing this bullshit.
Texas has a mask mandate. That's kind of surprising. I figured you guys of all people would be like, Texas, come and take it.
Texas has not a statewide mask mandate. It has
Is it by county? By how many cases you have?
It's right. It's by county and by how many. So if you have X number of cases or whatever, you have to have which basically means Houston, San Antonio, Austin, Dallas, Fort Worth, El Paso, the little towns and little counties don't really, which is great because when you're out driving around and you pull into a gas station or something, most places you don't have to wear a mask because, which is kind of dumb because I'm coming from Houston and I'm going somewhere. You'd think, if this was truly a disease spread prevention thing, that they'd want me to wear a mask to keep from spreading it, but that's all bullshit. So
well, speaking of Florida, did you see DeSantis? God bless him. I want him to run for something more than governor of Florida, because they were asking him about the Buccaneers celebration. Aren't you afraid that it's going to be celebrated? It's going to spread COVID. And he was like, you motherfuckers were all about, Joe Biden won. Tens of thousands of people flooded the streets of New York, and that was wonderful. And not a single time was anybody asked about that being a super spreader event.
Right.
No, it's not a problem. And big shock, it wasn't a problem.
No.
Again, come back to, for some people, yes, it's very dangerous. And those people should quarantine. Those people should stay home. Those people should wear masks. For the overwhelming majority of the population, though, it's not a problem.
Well, look at the if you it goes back to that thing about if you remove the comorbid. I was reading a thing. Where was it? I forget where it was, but it was talking about the CDC changed the rules for recording causes of death because of COVID. It used to be all the, whatever the comorbidities were treated equal.
Yep.
And with COVID, they said, no, COVID goes first. And then the whatever other, cancer, whatever
really
goes second. Yeah. Right. So they actually changed. It's like when the government says there hadn't been any inflation, but the reason they can say it hasn't been inflation is because they keep changing the fucking definition and how they calculate it.
The goalposts aren't just moving; they're glued. Right. They're gorilla glued to the back of a fucking NASCAR, and they're just
right. So if they were recording death statistics like they've been doing pre-COVID, the actual COVID deaths would be a tiny fraction of what they have reported, because the people that are dying have lung cancer, diabetes,
heart disease,
terminal obesity, heart disease. I mean,
people have pointed out
88 years old.
Obesity is not a thing.
It is too.
When you get stuck in your house and you can't leave. I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Lord, I don't think it's an official diagnosis of anything.
But people have pointed out that the overall number of people who died in a year didn't change.
Right.
Allegedly, we've had 500,000 deaths from COVID. So normally we see, I think it's 2.8 million Americans die every year. That's just the number. Every single death is roughly just shy of 3 million. It's less than 1% in that area. We should have seen a significant, it should be almost 3.5 if you add in this extra 500,000, except the number of deaths total for the year was 2.8 million.
Yeah, it was the same.
It was identical. All they've done is just reconfigure. Like we were talking about the influenza deaths. It's everything else. Well, now it's COVID.
Yeah, it's funny because when we finally get around to getting, somewhat accurate statistics, what they'll see is for 2020, the number one killer was heart disease. And it's going to be like, boom, 3 people died of heart disease in 2020.
65 people got
it's a
influenza.
Miracle.
Right. 7 people died of cancer. Because everybody.
I'm telling you, the COVID is curing cancer.
It is. No shit. I was on a work call, and somebody from one of our vendor companies said, "Hey, anybody else notice that nobody has the flu this year?"
Yep. Well, they came out with a study. There were 65 cases.
Yeah.
65 cases in the entire country of influenza.
Yeah, because they had to actually count them.
Not 65,000. 65 in the entire country at the height of cold and flu season. Now, again, as we've mentioned,
I just don't think
that is
anything is real anymore.
What I wonder is, how the cold, the common
cold, anything is real anymore.
It's not. Like the common cold is a coronavirus, right?
Yeah, it's one of the SARS family.
So who's to say, they're running these PCR tests, they're running them like the iterations are like insane. The cycles and what if a lot of these people that are testing positive for COVID because they have a fraction of a snippet of a piece of DNA from a coronavirus, but it gets amplified so much, it's like, oh my God, you've got the COVID. What if that's just the cold?
They came out with that, Alan, right after Biden was inaugurated. They were like, oh, we've been too high of a, basically the testing has gone for too many cycles. It's exactly that. They're amplifying these very small fragments.
Right.
Which
also
makes me wonder, because I've seen basically there's 2 types of coronavirus patients. There's people who get it and it was like a cold and they're fine. Mm-hmm. And then there's people who wind up in the hospital. Right. I wonder if the people that got it and were fine was just the common cold. But because it's, like you said, it shows up on a PCR test. Oh, it's a coronavirus. Boop.
Right.
So that, again, the numbers are complete nonsense. And the problem is they've got themselves, it's like a little kid caught in a lie. It's like, did you break that vase? And it's like, oh, no. The door was open and a dog ran in and knocked it over. And then, we got to find the dog. And now there's posters all over the neighborhood. And now everyone's looking for this dog who ran into people's houses. And it just spreads. And all of a sudden, there's an epidemic of dogs running into houses, breaking lamps. And there's lamps broken everywhere. And nobody wants to admit that, it wasn't really a big deal. And you get back to when it first broke out, like what happened in Italy. And then, you had the full, I'm Italian. I wouldn't base anything on Italy screwing things up. Let's just put it that way. Just saying,
I think that's why I think that's why Mussolini was able to come to power so quickly in Italy, because he made the trains run on time. He's a fucking miracle worker.
Magician.
Yeah.
Make that guy in charge.
I'm still not entirely convinced that they weren't actually working with the Allies all along. It was like, we're gonna be so incompetent. We're gonna bring them down from the inside. I can do that because I'm not appropriating culture.
That's right. That could be.
Chef Boyardee. Chef Boyardee's fine. Aunt Jemima has been erased from history, but Chef Boyardee's okay.
Oh, I know.
Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben erased, gone.
You know,
that's how we honor African American people. We erase them completely.
I'm kind of okay with Aunt Jemima going away because it's shitty.
Notre Dame mascot still there too.
Their syrup is still there. Yes, Notre Dame mascot, the Fighting Irish, the Boston Celtics.
Yeah,
the leprechaun.
Yeah, but you can't have the Redskins.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
but the Chiefs are okay for now.
Speaking of sports teams, the Mark Cuban announced that he wasn't going to have the national anthem at the Mavericks games.
Oh.
And then in like the next day, the NBA commission was like, you will play the national anthem at every game.
Yeah.
And he had to make an announcement.
But I noticed at the Super Bowl they played the Black national anthem.
I didn't watch it.
Did you know that?
I didn't know there was a Black national
anthem. I just
read
the headline. They read the. There is. I don't know what it is. It's like one of those.
Like Aretha Franklin. Is it?
No. It's like. I don't know. Look it up. I don't know. Whatever it is, they played it, and I just. It's really weird. Like they work so hard to not be segregated.
Yes.
And now.
Yeah. Yep.
They want their own thing.
Now they've got. They've got no.
I'm like whatever, but.
Well, thank God we've got our token African on this show. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you both are black. I'm the only white one.
We got two, and you're Black Irish, right. So.
No.
Oh goodness!
What is Black Irish?
It's not like blood pudding, is it?
I'm asking Frida. She's the expert.
Black Irish is like, okay. So in Irish history, there were like two groups in Ireland, and the Black Irish were reportedly, they came up after the Ice Age from like Spain and Iberia and, that type of region. And they were very dark hair and dark eyes and they were the people that originally settled into Ireland and that part of the world after the Ice Age. And then, people think of Irish, the red hair and the blue eyes and those are the people that came over like the Vikings and stuff. So it was like two different waves of people settled Ireland. But the Black Irish,
so they'd be like
probably
Inigo o Montoya,
the first people who after the Ice Age.
Okay.
From Spain and stuff. I wanted to mention, because we are like at the end of the show.
Are we?
That we have spent the entire yeah.
Oh.
We've spent we've spent the entire show not talking about a gigantically historic event that is happening right now.
What?
Think about it.
I missed it. You cut out.
Nothing? Bueller? No? We have spent the entire show, Jay, not talking about the hugely historic event occurring right now.
Oh, the second impeachment of Donald Trump?
Yeah.
That clown show?
It is such.
And you know why? Nobody cares.
Yeah, nobody cares. Literally.
Because the man's out of office. It is completely fucking useless.
Yeah. But it's also because the Democrats have made yet another kind of like important constitutional thing mean nothing now.
Yep.
That's what they do.
It means nothing.
Exactly. I mean, Alan, you and I remember the Iran-Contra hearings, right?
Sure.
You know, and how that was this big 7-year-long investigation, blah, blah, blah. And then we had Ken Starr investigating Bill Clinton. And do you remember the way the Democrats droned on and on about how all this waste of money,
Oh my God.
it's distracting the country, it's doing this, it's doing that. When it comes to Trump, no, it's fine. Oh, we impeached him and then couldn't convict. Oh, well, we'll just impeach him again. We're going to convene. We are going to convene in 1 week to draw up, to discuss it, draw up articles of impeachment, and vote it through in a week. When was the last time in recorded American history that Congress has ever worked that fast on literally anything?
Well, just the shit they pass in the middle of the night by voice vote. They don't want you to know about.
Wait. There is one thing: congressional pay raises. Those are
they do that
done. Other than congressional pay raises,
congressional pay raises are like in the middle of the night, 2 a.m. There's one person on the podium and one person in the thing, and they go, "We got a quorum, voice vote, all in favor."
I have it. But it's, I mean, nobody's going to care.
No,
but
it's stupid.
At some point, possibly, the Republicans might have the majority in the House again. And there might be a Democratic president who's done something worth impeaching. Except now, the something worth impeaching is we don't like him. He's a poopy head.
Right.
Yeah.
He says mean things. He tweets mean tweets.
Yeah, that's what they've turned it into.
Except first of all, the riot, and again, I know we touched on this last week, that this was, compared to the entire previous summer, about the wimpiest riot ever.
Right.
That again, you have...
They didn't burn down a building even.
3 people who died of natural... 3 people who are among the rioters died of natural causes. You have 1 police officer that nobody knows how he died.
Right.
And you have an unarmed veteran murdered by the police. I'm going back to Saul Alinsky here. Make them live by their own rules.
Who they still haven't told us who that was.
Yeah. The unarmed female veteran.
Yep.
Brutally murdered by a misogynist police officer. All cops are bastards. Make them live by their own, make them live by their own rules. They had this poor cop who died, and that's terrible. But we have no idea why.
No.
We were told he was beaten to death by a fire extinguisher.
Which was bullshit.
Oh, we can't find any evidence that there was any blunt trauma whatsoever.
Right.
So, he actually had a whole bunch of underlying health issues that might have contributed to whatever happened, except we don't know.
Right.
He lies in state. Although all cops are bastards, defund the police, except for that guy.
Yeah.
It's so cynically bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
But again, this is the same party that in May, all cops are bastards. In July, report your neighbors sending off fireworks to the police. In August, all cops are bastards. In November, report your neighbors having more than 10 people for Thanksgiving to the police. It just switch back and forth without the slightest hint of remorse or self-awareness. It's just good, bad, good, bad, good, bad. It's whatever we want it to be. And then and then to cynically, you spent 6 months with cities on fire, police cars overturned, businesses ruined, businesses leaving areas saying, fuck you, we're not coming back.
Right.
And that was mostly peaceful. Oh, the New York Times discovered that 93% were peaceful. The fuck does that mean, for starters?
Yeah.
It also means that 7% weren't peaceful. And then you turn a bunch of fucking frat boy yahoos into an insurrection. It's a coup. Trump tried to overturn the election. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is...
Well, only reason they're angry about it is because it happened to them. Like,
yeah.
Oh, it happened in Washington at the Capitol.
Right.
You know,
they dared act against their betters.
AOC was almost murdered.
Yeah, well,
oh yes, yes. I'm sure you've seen it. The Andrew Jackson. They tried to assassinate me, so I beat him with my cane. Right. Teddy Roosevelt. Yeah, they shot me, but I gave a speech anyway. AOC, a police officer frowned at me, and I almost died.
Yeah, she's right up there with Hillary and her sniper fire.
What a brave brave woman. How brave is she? Go sell another $60 sweatshirt, honey. I'm sure that's a misogynist.
And then that Time magazine article came out about the collusion around the election, and it's like somebody, who was it that said, I forget who it was. Somebody said it was that what's his name, Jack Posobiec. He was like, yeah, this is what serial killers, the same thing serial killers do when they want to make sure the cops give credit for the murder to the right person.
Right.
It's
like I said,
they weren't rigging the election. Fortifying it. This is what I mean when I say whoever controls the language controls the culture.
Yep.
I mean, we have something as ridiculous now as people picking their own pronouns. What? Like,
idiotic.
It's a language. But now we have this thing where making pronouns up.
It's even crazier than that, though, Brita. If you don't pick your pronouns, you're transphobic.
Oh, right. Right.
Like, people are being called out because Gina Carano didn't put her pronouns. I'm like,
oh no,
she did. She put, what was it, like beep bop boop or something like that, and then she got in trouble for it because she was making fun of the pronoun thing.
It's
my pronouns are fuck and you. Those are my pronouns.
Your and highness. There we go.
Yeah.
My
pronouns are yes, master.
You're absolutely right. It's who controls the language. This was the Bond villain monologuing right before they attempt to kill James Bond.
It is.
Except they know Bond ain't gonna make it.
Right.
They know they can do it. They're not confessing, they're bragging.
Yep. That's exactly what it is.
I mean, they even use the word cabal. They refer to themselves as a cabal.
Right.
A cabal of elite, blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
they spent the past year denigrating people for, you crazy conspiracy theorists.
Right.
Except that, here's a cabal of people who worked together to ensure Donald Trump couldn't win. Well, we don't want the wrong person winning. God forbid. They all but said,
how dare you people elect the wrong person? You did it once. We're never going to let you do it again.
Yeah. We spent weeks.
I mean, they even went and they worked.
Peons,
Yeah, they worked to even change the laws in different states. They worked to change the laws. How was this?
By the way, that was one of the.
I'm not paranoid. You're paranoid.
Yeah. That was one of the things that was slipped into the bills. Was we're going to have mail-in voting in all 50 states. They plan on never losing another election.
Yeah, but all that happened.
They did that. They did the mail-in voting thing before COVID.
Right.
They got the mail-in voting thing before COVID.
And then blamed the COVID for it.
Right.
Oh no, you can't go in person. But they did all those changes back in 2019.
Yeah.
It's not safe. You know what? Life's not safe. Life is a sexually transmitted terminal disease. None of us gets out of it alive. You want to, the number one thing, you know what? Dip your fucking finger in purple ink. You voted. You don't need an ID. You don't need anything. I voted.
That's voter suppression, Jay. You can't do that.
Yeah, exactly. exactly.
What if people don't have fingers, Jay?
Yeah. Note the Black Panthers stationed outside of polling places with bats in their hands. That's not voter suppression. That's totally fine. Right, Eric Holder?
Right.
But requiring an ID? Oh, hold on there, racy McRacist. Those poor people can't afford a $20 ID. They can vote on their phone, though. No, nothing to see here, folks.
Yikes.
And yet it comes as a surprise that, that the Buffalo man went to the Capitol.
Oh,
it's
you
an
ain't seen
insurrection
nothing yet.
This,
you
this
think 2020
side...
was fun? 2021 is going to be a gas. It's going to be off the hook.
Yeah, the side that's been stockpiling guns and ammo for the past 30 years is going to go there to take selfies. That's
right.
What you're calling an insurrection.
Yeah, no. 2021 is going to be. Oh, you want an insurrection? Hold my beer.
Hold my beer. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's
right.
That's the whole thing. Is if you told me they are actively trying to goad one side into doing something stupid, I couldn't think of anything they could do differently at this point.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, just what we're seeing coming out. Time Magazine, perfect example. That whole thing, that smug little ha-ha, look what we did, and we got away with it, and there's nothing you fucking cousin humpers can do about it.
Yep.
You look at some of the shit, the how much has gas gone up since January?
50
Thanks,
cents.
Joe.
Yeah.
I enjoy paying an extra 30 cents a gallon. Oh, all of this. Oh, and Saudi Arabia is fucking around with the gas supply because you've already, pretty much said we're no longer self-reliant. Gas has gone up, heating oil has gone up, natural gas has gone up.
Yeah, just wait till after this.
Insulin has gone up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Insulin has gone up.
Protections.
Yep.
Yeah.
And on that bright note,
I think insulin now is back up to $1,500 for 90-day supply.
But he doesn't tweet mean tweets, so there's no mean tweets, so it's all good.
Yeah, I think our audio's gone to complete shit.
Me too.
What's up?
We're off. The delay is off the.
It's
just not working anymore.
I
think that's StreamYard telling us to end the show.
Well, but before we go, I don't suppose either of you watched the Super Bowl, but
nope.
Did you see, by any chance, look it up on YouTube, the president's address to the people before the Super Bowl?
Nope.
Joe Biden looks like Gary Busey. Oh, okay, thank you. He looks like Gary Busey. He's like, Super Bowl. First of all, Jill Biden. I'm sorry, Dr. Jill. Dr. Biden.
Dr. Jill
did, I don't know what, 98% of the talking, and Biden would just pipe up with Super Bowl. Go teams. It was like Gary Busey.
I think she has her hand up his ass, Jay.
Yeah. He's Woodrow Wilson.
I think she has her hand up his ass and he's like a puppet.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
I also, in that video, I did notice that he was getting booed, though. So,
which is interesting. They must have all been Tom Brady, because he has a MAGA hat, and he's racist because he won the Super Bowl during Black History Month.
Oh my God, yeah.
All right. Well, next week we'll do this on Zoom, and we'll all have cat avatars.
Okay.
Don't tease me. Seriously?
I'm not teasing you. Make sure you have a Zoom client and practice.
Okay.
We'll do it with cat avatars.
Oh God.
It'll be special.
We're gonna be banned for. We're not allowed to talk smack about China though if we're on Zoom.
Yeah, we can.
What are we up to on our locals page, Alan?
I don't know.
I thought it was 36 last time. Or sign up, you morons.
Let's see what it is.
We're trying to get to 100, so we can. I don't know.
I can show the rest of my adhesives.
Frida's adhesive collection. Okay.
While we wait.
Right.
No.
We haven't done show and tell in a while. I had something last week that I never got around to.
No. We'll save it.
All right. Save it for next week.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
42.
Here.
All right.
Clue do I have?
Almost halfway there, guys. Need 58 more. Sign up. We can get something. I don't know.
All right.
We'll figure it out.
Maybe this will work better next week. The cats will improve.
I'm sure it's fine. People get what they pay for.
That's right. Exactly. Sign up for locals. It'll get better.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.
Night, y'all.
Okay. Good night.